the number one thing when it comes to binge eating is binge eating thrives in isolation. You don't go out with your girlfriends on a Tuesday evening and say, like, as soon as my husband leaves the house, I grab the jar of peanut butter and I just eat until I'm so sick. And then I go into the freezer and I have a pint of ice cream. Like, you don't share this information with your friends. And so your friends also don't share that information with you. And so it's so easy to feel like I'm the only person thinking about food 24/7. I am the only person who feels out of control with food, but it's not that you're the only person. It's just that binge eating isn't talked about enough. And so when you're actually part of a community, we have our badass community. I have my badass community inside of the Root and Rewire membership, inside of all my programs. You feel less alone. And when you feel less alone, you actually stop your binge eating much faster because you let go of any shame and guilt associated with that. So just wanted to share that, and I'm going to get into some questions here. Okay. Angelina said, how do I not give in? Okay, so when it comes to strong urges, I know that they're demanding, they're persistent, it's literally convincing you, like, you have to give in. This is the only way you're going to find comfort, relief, and pleasure. So I can give you multiple strategies right now for when you feel an urge to binge to help you to not give in. But what's actually more effective, that's going to support you even more, is let's prevent your urges from arising in the first place. Because as soon as that urge comes on, you can tell yourself 1,000,001 times, don't do it. But at that point, it's usually too late. So what you actually want to do to help you not give in is you want to actually prevent your urges from arising in the first place. And how you do that is, number one, you want to make sure that all of your meals, all of your snacks are extremely satisfying. If you're just eating what you think you should be eating versus what actually sounds good, you're going to be leaving your meal thinking so much more about food, and you're going to develop strong urges later on. So let's say for breakfast, you were like, some toast with some almond butter and banana sounds really good, but you're like, I probably should just have eggs. Well, you're going to have the eggs because you think it's a better option. And then you're going to be thinking about the toast the entire time. That's going to create a strong urge. And then come 8 o'clock at night, it's going to be really hard for you to fight against your urges. So number one, have more satisfying meals. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, which kind of ties into that, is actually eat what you're craving. People are so freaking afraid of their cravings. I just did a podcast episode on this, on the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. People are literally so afraid of honoring their cravings. It's like, well, as soon as I eat what I'm craving, then I always end up spiraling into a binge. But you need to actually eat what it is that you're craving. Sorry, I meant to put Ditch Decade Diets podcast. Because again, if you, let's say, it's like the afternoon and you're like, I really want some chocolate. And you don't allow yourself to have the chocolate, the desire for chocolate just builds and it builds and it builds, and it actually creates a strong urge, which is why you can dismiss your cravings all day and then come 8 o'clock at night, you're eating a whole bag. So again, these are just a few different strategies. Like, sure, I can tell you specific things for, when you feel the urge to binge that will help you to not give in. But what's actually more helpful is preventing your urges from arising in the first place. Because if the urge doesn't pop up, it's so much easier for you to not give in. And when you're having more satisfying meals and you're actually eating what you're craving, not what you think you should be eating, well, I probably should have this. Instead, you actually eat what you're craving, your urges are going to stop popping up, and therefore it's going to be easier for you to not give in. Okay, great question. Okay, let me scroll back up. If you are new here, you can drop your question in the chat. I have about maybe 5 minutes left. What do you recommend to someone who wakes up every night and can't go back to sleep until binging? So this is actually night eating syndrome. I've helped so many of my clients with this. The thing is, just like anything, this is all habitual. So whether it's in the evenings, whether it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's all habitual. And this is why we have to rewire our brain. So you have to remind yourself that you're so safe. Right now, it feels like I can't go back to sleep until I binge, but that's your binge brain speaking to you. Your true self knows, like, I am so safe right now. Like, I am safe to just go back to sleep. I'm not restricting myself. I'm not depriving myself. Like, I don't need food right now. And this is where you can just remind yourself this is all habitual. And if you continue giving into that urge, the urge is going to become more intense. So if you just say to yourself, if I don't give into this one strong urge, the next urge is going to be less intense. And then that's actually how you break out of this cycle. But if you just keep on telling yourself, like, I can't go back to sleep until I binge, or just one more time, you're going to keep giving into your urges, and then your urges are going to actually intensify. Okay. How do I get lessons from you? You can message me on my Instagram. I have some coaching options. All of you guys should be inside of my Root and Rewire membership. Like, I literally teach you exactly how to rewire your brain and no longer feel these strong urges so that you don't have to rely on distracting yourself and staying busy and just keeping chocolate out of the house. Like, you know, or you can message me on TikTok. That's fine. You know that distracting yourself and staying busy and trying to keep chocolate out of the house, it is a quick fix tactic that helps you manage your urges. Sure, you might not binge if you don't have chocolate in the house, but not like trying to keep chocolate out of the house doesn't heal your relationship with chocolate. Chocolate's always going to be triggering if you continue to keep it out of the house. So you actually have to repair your relationship with it. And these are all things that I teach you inside of the membership. How to actually rewire your brain so your urges stop popping up. You get coaching with me every single month. You're part of our incredible badass community. You learn all the tools. I'm talking how to stop secret eating, how to eat what you're craving without spiral into a binge, how to stop the all or nothing mentality. So if you eat something bad or off limits, you're not like, F it, screw it, I already messed up. Like, it's literally everything you need to know. If you're not in the membership yet, I literally don't know what you're doing. Get inside. Okay, what other questions do we have? I have a few more minutes here. Joanne is on. Emma is on. I think Chloe said that she was restricting for a long period of time. Sandy is on. Jojo, Emma, any other questions? Weight loss versus trying to recover. Okay, I was actually just talking to someone about this. So when you're actively trying to lose weight, you're often in a calorie deficit, which actually creates urges. When you're trying to stop binge eating, you're literally trying to do the opposite, and you are trying to eliminate your urges. So they don't go hand in hand. Trying to focus on weight loss makes you more obsessed with calories. You think about food so much more. You're obsessed over every single thing that you're consuming. And that's going to create these strong urges. And again, like I said, when you're trying to stop binge eating, Chloe, can you retype it? There's too many things that I can't see it. When you're trying to stop binge eating, you want to get rid of your urges. So you can't be doing both. Now, what I will say, a lot of my clients, when they work with me, and obviously when you stop your binge eating, you're no longer overeating, you can naturally release weight. If you're no longer consuming hundreds and thousands of calories every single night or every single week, your metabolism is going to get better, your gut health is going to improve, you're going to feel more confident in your own skin so you can actually go for that walk, or you can actually get your workout in versus feeling sluggish. You're going to sleep better, which actually supports your hunger hormones. Like, There's so many aspects that play a role in that. So actually, when you take the focus off of weight loss and you focus on actually rewiring your brain out of these habitual cycles, you can actually release weight, but that's a byproduct of no longer binging. Okay, anything else? Let's see, maybe I can scroll up to that question. I don't see your question, Chloe. So you're gonna have to retype it if... I was restricting, hold on. I binged twice in 2 days in the morning. Why in the morning? Everybody's time is different. So I work with some clients where it's like they can eat super well all day, and then come the evening, that's when they're in the pint of ice cream. Some people, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't really matter the time. Regardless of the time, binge eating is a habit, which is why you need to rewire your brain. Should you try to focus on self-esteem while trying to recover, or is it too much at once? No, that's not too much at once. Anybody can focus on loving themselves more. I tell my clients to enter their self-love era. Actually, healing your relationship with food is actually healing the relationship that you have to yourself. You're actually doing it in the process. So for example, if you just binged, you can practice self-love in that moment to say, I'm not a failure. I didn't mess up. And you extract the feedback, you extract the lessons, you practice self-love by saying, I'm not going to restrict the next day. I'm going to continue making myself a nourishing meal. I'm going to continue to go for a walk. I'm going to continue to, take really good care of myself. That's not too much at all. It actually happens in the process. So, how do I stop binging even when I don't restrict? Binging is not just due to restriction. Binging is due to habits. I always thought I'm alone. Start with the 5 day. You can start with the 5 days. The 5 days is incredible. You can absolutely start there. Or if obviously you're looking for more coaching, you can join the membership or Conquer. I trust that you're going to make the perfect decision for yourself. Okay, so if you're not restricting, but you're still binging, this is because, again, it is habitual. So even when I deleted my Fitness Pal, I wasn't depriving myself anymore. I was still binging because again, every single time that you binge, you deepen this habit into your brain. And then that's what makes it feel impossible to stop. So you have to practice not giving into your urges. Again, it's one urge at a time. If you tell yourself, don't give into this urge, the next urge is going to be less intense. Then the next urge after that is going to be less intense. And eventually you're going to stop feeling the strong urge to binge pop up. Okay. Overwhelmed and hopeful is a good place to be. I'm glad you popped up. Well, I'm so glad that you came on this live stream. I truly believe that, the message that I have to share with the world, it's like the right people just hear it at the right times. The right people hear it at the right times. Okay. So if you have not yet checked out the Root and Rewire membership, I recommend jumping into this. You get monthly coaching with me. You learn the brain-based tools. This is the only program that actually teaches you how to rewire your brain. This is not just about just rely on willpower and just tell yourself to not binge. Like, you guys, like, you're not going to stop your binge eating by just focusing on willpower. Willpower doesn't change your thoughts around food. Willpower doesn't help you stop seeing food as good versus bad. Like, you actually have to rewire your brain. And what I mean by rewire your brain is you have to shift the way that you're viewing food. If you're constantly saying, like, I messed up today because I had some chocolate, then of course you're going to end up binging on chocolate because you feel like you messed up. Versus someone else that has a better relationship with chocolate. They can have a few pieces and they're like, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm safe to enjoy some chocolate. I'm allowed to enjoy some chocolate. So they have a few pieces and they move on with their day. Who do you think is going to stop binge eating much faster? The person who's rewired their brain around chocolate. So again, the link is in my bio. You guys can literally jump in and start watching the trainings right now. We actually have our coaching call next week. So if you join the membership this week, you'll actually get a coaching call with me next week. You get to be part of our incredible badass community. You have all the brain-based tools that you need to stop feeling less impulsive with food, be able to quiet the food noise in your mind, effortlessly stop when you're full, and of course, have less urges. Emma says, I need that. Yes. There's been well over 100 people that have joined the membership from Italy, Australia, the UK, New Zealand, Belgium, Canada, all around the world. So I would love to have you. The link is in my bio. All right, you guys. Is it okay to eat a sweet treat every day to prevent binging at night? Yeah. I mean, again, I wouldn't just like purposely eat a sweet treat. Like, if you're craving it, absolutely. But I'm not a fan of like, just eat chocolate whenever you want. Like, if you're craving it, honor that craving, but don't just like have it for the sake of having it. If you're actually craving it, then that's when you want to have it, because that's when you'll actually prevent a binge in the evening. Okay. Awesome. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your day. If you have any questions about my programs, you want to come into the membership, be sure to just message me and I'll send you all of the details, and I'm so excited. Okay. Have a good rest of your night, you guys. Bye.